Welcome to MacroCode. If you are new to this channel, consider subscribing. So today we are going to proceed with our Blazor series app, that is the Students Management System. So as you can see, on our previous video we tried to integrate our app with our admin, that is the admin LTE template. So as you can see, so if you're new to this channel, you can actually consider watching our previous video on how we integrated this application with our LTE template. So as you can see on our app, we already have the data that we had created. That is the first name, middle name. So we can actually save a student. So I can just do one for those who are new to this channel. So if I just do that, I can save the first name, the middle name, the last name, the email address, phone number. Then I can do gender, then date of birth. So if I save this, we are able to see the data here. So this is the data that we've actually saved. Then you can actually update the student details, and you can also delete. So that was for the students. Then we have the parents. So we are able to add the parent details. And these parent details, you are able to tie these parent details to actually the student. So you are able to select the gender, the students. So you can select the student, the parent type, whether it's father, mother, or uncle. Then you can actually rename that to relationship. So then you can save that. So you can see we are able to save that. So we can actually change this. So yeah, there's something wrong with our edit. So we'll be able to check that for the parent. So if you see on our parent, when you edit this parent type, we can actually change this to relationship type. So if you go to our application, so for those who are following, so you'll go to our application and add parent. Then you're going to change, instead of saying relationship, the parent type, you can actually say relationship. So relationship type. Then you can do the same for the, don't know if we are displaying it on the list. No, so we are not displaying it on the list. So as you can see for the parent, we should be able to edit. So I think there is an issue with the edit, so we didn't actually complete that. So let's add the edit button for our parents. So I'm going to add actually a razor component, not the button. A razor component for editing the parent details. So I'm going to say edit parent. So if we just do edit parent, then create that component, then we are going to duplicate this detail. Duplicate the component for the add parent. So I'm going to copy this component. So I'm going to copy everything here. Go to my add edit parents, then paste it here. So then I'm going to update, say update. So you're calling this update parent. Then here we'll say update parent details. Then for our app, instead of saying create parent, we are going to say update parent. Then for the parent service, we are going to do an update. So we'll call the update async. Then we're still passing the same data from the parent, then all these other options. So, but the only thing that you are going to change is on our on initialize method here. So we are going to preload the parent date object with some data from the parent that has been selected. So what we are going to do, we are going to say parent is equals to await. Then we'll do parent service. So we'll just do parent service dot get by ID. So we are going to say get by ID. So where are we getting this ID? Remember, when we edit, we are actually supplying an ID. So we should actually define our page, the root for the edit button, for the edit page. We are going to define it. We are expecting a parameter. So we'll just say parent. So that will be our navigation. Then we'll say edit. So we can actually do that. Parent, then edit. Then you're expecting an ID. So this will be update parent. So we'll just do update parent. Then for the ID, we are expecting a parameter. So we need to define that parameter. So I'm going to copy it. So this is the parameter. So we'll just have it on our edit parent razor component. So down here, we need to define that we are expecting a parameter of an ID. And this is the ID that you are going to pass here when we are supplying so that we get the parent object. So the first time we load the edit section, we are going to load this. And also we will be loading the student and the rest. So what we need to do, instead of us loading the student, so we'll first pre-populate that with the data. So let's just see how that works. But now to click on the edit section, remember we have the root here. So this root, we are going to specify it on our parents list. So when you click on edit parent, it should actually take you to the edit parent. Then this should not be student, but we can say parent. Then we can actually replace all this here. So this should be parent, 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 all this data. Then this should be parent ID. Are we deleting parent data? No. So we should actually remove that. So let's just work with that. So when you click edit, it will take us to the edit page with the parent ID and preload all the data for the parent. So this should be update parent. We'll just do update parent and it will pre-fill all the details with the parent data. So if I just launch this app, so let's try to launch. So we should be able now to edit the parent details. So let's try and see how it will work. So if you are new to this channel, consider subscribing and comment down below in case you have any suggestion or you have anything that we can include on this application. So as you can see, we can be able to go to parents. Then for the parents, we'll get the list. So we need to remove this. So if we just do edit, you can see it is now taking us to the parent edit with an ID 1. Then it is actually preloading all the details for the parents. Then you can actually change the relationship. Say it's uncle, then you're able to save it. So if we just edit back, you'll see that the relationship now is uncle. So let's just remove that, or we can actually leave the delete option. So let me just leave the delete option. So we can have the delete. So you can have the delete. Let me just say delete. I don't want us to be deleting parent data. We can actually block them. So it's not actually the. So I'll show you how we will do that. So let's just remove it for now. We can only update. So we now have the data for the parents. We have the countries. We also have the system codes that we added and the system codes details. So the next thing that I want us to do on this table, we are creating on this system, we are actually creating the students system. So what I want us to do today is to create something for the teachers. So I want us to create a model. I want us to create a model for the teachers. So to do that, let's go to our shared project. Then you are going to create here, we will say teacher. So I'll just do teacher. Then if you press that, I'll do here public. Then, sorry, public. Then for the teacher, you can actually have public int, then ID. So that is our primary key. Then we can do, so this is string. We can do first name. Then you can also do string. You can do middle name. So we can actually copy some of the data and parents. So I'll just copy this. So I'll copy that, then I can have it here. Then I can say this is a teacher. Then you can have the ID, first name, middle name, last name, email address, gender. Gender, we are expecting to get the gender from the system code, phone number, address. Then you can say we don't now have the student. Then you can say we can have here, you can actually add something we call marital status. Marital status ID. Then this will be our marital status. So we'll actually update for our parent model as well. Then the next thing that the only thing that I want us to add for the teachers, I want us to add, we can say about, or we can say maybe Facebook link. Can also do Twitter. Can have Twitter handles. So you can say Twitter link. You can also do LinkedIn linked. So you can do linked. Sorry. So you can do LinkedIn link. Then another thing is now, another options that I want us to do is we can do a designation. So the designation we can actually borrow from our system codes. I can show you how we will do that. So here we will say designation ID. Designation ID. Then this designation ID, this will be our foreign key, then that will be our, should come from the system code details. So we are using the code first approach to actually define our tables. So after this, I want us now to effect these changes to our database. How do we do that? Let's go to our data application DB context. Then we are going to define our have it here. Define our table name. So just have our DB set, then specify the model. Then here we'll say teachers. So that is the name of our table. Then after that, I want us to add migrations. So we'll just do NuGet package console. Then we'll add the migration. So I'll say add using the add migration command. Add migration, then I'll say teacher. So I'll just do teacher details. Then press enter. So if everything goes well, our migration should be generated and we should be fine to update the changes to our tables. So let's wait and see. So build succeeded. Then you expect to have the migration file. There you go. You can see the teacher details has been generated and the table is here. So you're expecting our table to be created with all those details. So the next thing is to update the database using the update database command. We'll just do update database, press enter. Then our database, our tables will be created. So if our table will be created, then everything will work well. So you can see that is fine. So all these columns has been created. You see this is actually an SQL statement creating our tables. So after we are done with that, I want us now to create a folder to create the components. So let's go to our pages. Then I want us to add a page for. So let's just create a folder first. Create a folder for teachers. So we'll just call these teachers. So for the under teachers, I want us to first create a list component. So the list component will call this teachers list. Teachers list. Then once we do that, then I'm going to duplicate the parents list. So I'll just reuse the parents list. Come here, paste that. Then I'm going to use here, I'll say teachers list. Then I'll say this is teachers. So that is teachers. Then we'll say add new teacher. Then our list down here. Sorry. So our list down here will be all teachers. then we'll have our teacher here as the model. Then we'll be now having our collection that it will be pulling from the teacher. So for now, we can have it that way. Then our object here, so this is the list. So we're expecting all the list of teachers. We now loop. So we say this is loading teachers. Then this is the list of teachers. So we should just have a phone number. Can remove this, or you can actually have it as gender. You can have this as gender. Then here we'll say gender. Then gender. Then we take the description of the gender. Then we can say, so that is our navigation. Then we'll say this is a teacher list and available. So we already have our teachers list, but now I want us to add to our navigation menu. So to add this to our navigation menu, let's go to our navigation layout and components, then main navigation. So I'm going to add this to our, it's actually under nav menu. So I'm going to add this to our section. So we'll have these, and we say this is our teachers. So these teachers should take us to the list that we just created under pages, then parents. I mean teachers, not parents. Where is it? Yes, here. So this is the list here. So this is our root. So it's teachers. So if we go back to our nav menu, we should actually reference these to teachers. So that will take us now to the teachers list. But we need to add another component. We need to add another component, that is the component to add the teacher. So I'll just say add teacher. Add teacher. Then if we do add teacher, I'm going to borrow the same thing as add parents. So I'll copy that, then come and paste it here. So then I'm going to modify. So I'll say add teacher. That is our root. So this is add teacher. Then we'll say add new teacher details. So we'll remove that. Then when you come down here, I want us to add, so our teacher model, this will be our teacher model. Then this will be our teach. So we'll say teach object. Then these other ones can remain. So let's just update our model first from the top. So this will be our model. Then you can say this add teacher, the form name. Then our model should reference our teacher object. So this is then that should fine. We still have the first name, middle name. You also have the last name for the teacher. You also have the address, so you'll be replacing this. Then you also have the address as well. Then the next thing is we also have the gender. So we'll be replacing that. Then you also have, so we didn't have the students. So let's just remove this. We have a relationship. So we can actually remove this as well. We can change this to date of birth. Let's leave it. So for the teacher, then you'll say save teacher. Save teacher. So for the teacher, we added some few items. One is we added let's just go to the model. So for the model, we added the Facebook link, Twitter link, that is, then so we can actually add it. So we'll say here Facebook link. So for the Facebook link, then you can do here, we are now using teacher. So this should be teacher, this should be teacher, then this should be teacher, this should be teacher, Then you can say Facebook link. We replace this with Facebook link. So let me just copy it here. Then also the next one we need to add is the Twitter link. So I'll copy that. Then you can say Twitter link. I'm also going to replace this with Twitter. So that is it. And here should be, then you can do the same here. Then you also have here we should say LinkedIn. We can have the LinkedIn link, and this is LinkedIn link. So we do that. Then the next thing we added, so gender. So you can actually borrow this to be at the top. So you can have it here. Let's just have it at the top here. So the next thing that we have is the relationship. So instead of relationship, I want us to define this to, we say designation. So designation, then we'll be using our teach object. Then this will be designation ID. Then you can say this is a designation ID. Then we say select designation. So if we do that, then we can select say designation. So we'll actually define that. Let's just do that. So here we'll have the designation ID, then date of birth. I think that is fine. So for the designation, we need to load this list. So we'll change our parent type here to designation. So we'll say designations. Then this will be the designation. Then the parent code that we're expecting, we can expect designation. So then we'll change this here. We'll now reuse here designation. Then we'll get that. So another thing that is simply an error. So here we now have to do something. So we don't have to get the students because we are not using it, but we can use the gender. So can do that. So detail. Sorry. So the next thing that I want us to do is to create our repository pattern for the parent. So to do that, I'll be reusing some of the items that we just did to go fast. So first is go to our repository pattern. Then I'm going to create an interface. I'm going to create an interface, then call it iTeacher repository. So iTeacher repository. Then for the iTeacher repository, I'll just reuse the same as the parent. So then I'll paste this here. Then for each, I'll just change this model to teacher. Then this is teacher, then teacher. Then for this, I'll also go to services. I'm going to create a services for our repository pattern, implementing this interface. So I'll just create a class. Then I'll just call it teacher repository. Then it will be implementing this. So it will be implementing that. So we'll just do implement interface and it will generate for us all these methods. But now I'll just copy what we have under parent because it's kind of the same. Then I'll just change the models. So I'll just duplicate this, sorry, to make it easier. So this is just a simple app. So this is a parent. Then here I'll just change where we have a parent to teacher. So I'll just do teacher. This is teacher. So where there is parents, I'll say teachers. So we are getting a list of teachers. So there you go. So when you delete, you're deleting teacher, then we'll just say teachers. Sorry, just teachers. Then this is first or default. So we'll just do first or default, and we remove parent. Teachers. Sorry, teachers. That's wrong. Teachers. Yes. Then get all. You're getting teachers. We'll just update that. Then do we have to include anything? Yes, you can include designation, and you can also include gender. So you can include gender. Then here we are also getting by an ID. Our model is a parent, teacher I mean. Then this is teachers. Then we get first or default. Updating, we are updating a teacher details. So we'll pass in the model for teachers. Then we'll get here teachers. Sorry. We'll just do teachers. Then we update. So this is our service, and this is implementing iTeacher repository. So we need to register it under the program.cs file. So I'm going to register that. So I think on our next videos, we'll actually see how we can lump all these into just a one. So that will be, let's just build our application. So I'll do iTeacher repository. Then I'm going to specify the service. So this is the service. So if we go to our, let's see on our clients, I think we are good. So to use this service, the service that we have on our add teacher here, we need to import it, and we need to import it here on our imports. So I'm going to inject it here. I'm going to inject iTeacher repository. Then I'll say here teacher service. So I'll just do teacher service. So this teacher service, I can now reuse it on our add teacher. Instead of saying create, so this should be create teacher. So when adding, so our form now should reference create teacher, and you should specify it on validate submit. Then when you go down here, we should specify we should use teacher service. Then we say add async, and we should pass our teach object. Then it should now take us back to the list of our teachers. So it should take us, after adding, it should navigate us back to the list of teachers. The same case for the teachers list, we need to get the list of teachers. So this will be our add. Let's just see our root. It should be add teacher. That is when you are on the list of teachers and you click add new teacher, it should take you to add teacher. Then on our list here, on initialize, we should load all teachers. So this one should be load all teachers. Then these teachers should be loaded, and you should now get teachers from our service. So teacher service, then we get all async. Then we actually add all the data to our collection here. So so that is it. So load all teachers, then we are able to get everything. So I think up to there, we should be able to navigate to our app. So let's launch the app and see how everything works. So if you're new to this channel, consider subscribing, comment down below, and let's see how the app looks like. So we have an error. So let's see what is the error. So there you go. So these are the errors. I think it's under the teachers list. Yes, on delete, I think we should load teachers, not. Yes, so this was the issue. And here we should actually use teacher. and delete async. Then this should be delete teacher. So let's update that. Then this delete teacher, yeah, I think we'll be able to see that. So let's launch and see. So let's launch and see how the app looks like. So if we open the app, we should be able to add a teacher, and you should see the list of details of the teacher that we just added. So our app is launching. So there you go. So we have our dashboard, the students. Let's see our students. Yes, so the students has loaded, then parents, then now we have the teachers. So you can see we don't have any list of teachers now available. So what we need to do, if we click add new teacher, it should take us to the form to add teacher details. So I'll just add some data. Then, so these are the teacher details of you. Then gender, select male. Then we shall have some email address. Then address, phone number, then link. So we'll just put in some link. So Twitter, just reuse this one. So we'll actually do some validations on this app. So for now, we are just taking the strings. Then designation. So why we don't have the designation is because we don't have it on our options. But before we add this, we need to create that. So how do we do that on our app, the way we've designed it? So you first come to system codes, then add the code designation. So this code will actually define the options that we are going to use it for our app. So we'll say designation, then designation. So if we save that, we're able to save the designation. So if we come to system codes, we should now add all the options for the system codes. So I'll say junior teacher. So I'll just have this as a, so I'll say junior teacher, then here I'll say junior teacher. Then this will be my designation, then I'll save it. So if you come down here, you'll see there is junior teacher, and it is actually part of the designation. So let me add some. So I'll say lecturer. So this is lecturer. Then I'll say designation. I'm also going to add senior lecturer. Then I'll say senior lecturer. Then it is my designation. Then I'll also call, you can say professor. This is my professor. Professor is single F, so I'll just do professor, double S. Then I'll do designation, then save it. Then I can also do associate lecturer. So I'll just do associate lecturer. So that is then I'll just do here associate lecturer, then I'll do designation. So if I save all this, you'll see we now have different options for the designation. So if I go to, sorry, should be teachers. So if I say add teacher, then I just say Joshua Mwangi. Then I say Karanja. Then I just do mail. Then test at, so I just do test at gmail.com. Then I just do here. Then we'll just have a phone number. Then you can say HTTPS. Then this will be Facebook. So I'm going to use this. Then say here Twitter. Then here I'm going to use say LinkedIn. So that is it. Then we come to designation. You should actually see the options that has been populated here are the designations that we just added. So I'll just choose lecturer, then put in the date. So I'll just say 1990. So if I click save, our lecturer details should be saved. But now there's something we missed. You see, we have the marital status. We didn't add the marital status on our form. So we should actually include the marital status for the teacher. So if we come to add, I'll copy one of these. Then we should indicate. So we say marital status. Then on the marital status, we should actually take marital status ID. It is not nullable, so we should actually get all the marital status of teachers. So the select marital status. Then this should be an ID here. Then we should load all the list of marital status that we have. So if I just select here, I'll now define another options list. Then I say marital statuses, marital status. Then these marital status, we should actually when we just load our form, we should pre-populate it. So I'll just have it here. Then this should be our code. So if we go back to the options for the marital status here, we should check the marital status is not null. Then we say status. So for this status, we want to save the ID, but we want to display the description, and the one to be saved is this one. So if we just launch our app, we should be able to select now marital status and save the data to our database. So let's see how our app will look like. So if you're watching this video and you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and like the video so that you're able to help us reach more people. So when you go to our app on our teachers, you're going to see, so we click add new. Let's see if we have the marital status. There you go. And when you click, you see we already have the single, married, and divorced. So we had already defined that. So if you go back to our system codes, you already have the marital status. So you see all these. So let's try to add now our app and see how it will turn up. So that is a male, marital status married, that is the email address, phone number. So the links, then designation, and even the date of birth. So I'm going to do that one. So if we click save, there you go. So you can be able to see now we have our data for teachers. So if we add another teacher, I'll just say 1, say 2, say 3. Then I'll say female, then married, then that is the email. Then I can do another phone number, that is the link, that is the link, that is the professor, and we can say the date of birth is this one, then we can say maybe 1990. Then if we click save, we are now able to see the data is being pre-populated, and you can see we are displaying male instead of the IDs. So we need now to activate the edit options. So to do that, let's go to our teacher section. Then you can add a razor component for edit teacher. So I'll just do here edit teacher. Edit teacher. So I just do edit teacher. Then if we click add razor component, you're able to add that. So I'm going to duplicate our add details because it's kind of look the same. So if we just do that, I'm going to say here now update teacher details. Then instead of saying add teacher, I'll say update. You can actually do say teacher, then you can say edit. So this edit, we should actually pass it with the parameter, because we are editing so you can just use the one for the parent. We are editing the teacher details, so you're expecting a parameter for that case, for the teacher that we are updating. So that is how our navigation should look like. So, and this int, so I'll just do here update teacher, and instead of then I can also say here update teacher. So we are maintaining everything only these two. Then we can just come here, instead of saying create teacher, we say update teacher, and we change so this should be, now we are calling the update function method. Then once that is called, so when this page is edited, we need to get first one thing. We need to get the ID that was supplied. So this ID that was applied is the one that we are going to pass so that we are able to update. So we need to get it as a parameter, and this is how you define. So let's go back to edit teacher. We need to define this. So we need this parameter ID, which is actually what we have specified at the top here. So we need to get the value of that ID. So what's this? Why do we need this? The reason as to why we need this, we need, before we do anything on the form, we actually need to load the data and append it to this object. And the way we load it, we could only load it if we have the ID of the teacher. So I'll just do await. Then we say teacher service. So that teacher service, then we get the details by an ID. So we'll get the details of the teacher by the ID that we've just specified here. We'll just pass the ID here and we close. So we should be able now to get the details before it is manipulated. So if I just open now our app, but before doing that, we already now have this navigation. So this navigation, we should specify it on our list. Under teachers list, you should ensure when you click the edit button, you should be taken to the teachers then edit. So that is what you should do. So once that is done, we can now edit our teacher details. So let's see how the app will look like. So let's see. So if you are new to this channel, consider subscribing, like the video, and comment down below. So let's see how the app. So if we come now to the teachers, we should be able to edit the data. So to update the teacher's details, we can actually click on edit, then choose here Mercy. So we'll just specify Mercy, then Mwangi, then we'll say Wanjala. So after that, this is female. So if we try to update, we can even change the date of birth. Then if we save the teacher, you can see now we have Mercy, Mwangi, Wanjala, and these are the details. So we've managed to add the teacher details. So I'll just do macro code. Then I can say dev, and I'll just say male. Then single. Then I'll just do that. Then that. Provide the phone number. Then just do that. So if we choose here professor, then I'll just do the date and specify the date of birth. So if I save it, you can see I'm able to save those data. So for today, guys, we are going to leave it at that point. So for those who are new to this channel, consider subscribing, like the video, and comment down below. See you in our next video. Bye.